The dosing disparity between niacin and N-men has become a centerpiece of arguments that N-men is the more potent, more efficient molecule. The logic runs something like this. If N-men works at 250 to 500 milligrams while niacin requires 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams to achieve therapeutic effects, then N-men must be intrinsically more powerful per unit of dose. This reasoning sounds plausible. It's also wrong, and understanding why it's wrong requires some basic biochemistry that the supplement industry has little incentive to explain. Higher dosing doesn't indicate inferior potency in any simple way. Different compounds require different doses for different biological reasons, and those reasons don't translate cleanly into a potency hierarchy. Niacin operates through multiple enzymatic steps before producing NAD+, and some of those steps have saturation kinetics, meaning the enzymes handling the conversion have a maximum processing rate. To maintain sustained NAD+ synthesis over time, you need to supply sufficient substrate to keep those enzymatic pathways running adequately. The gram-level doses of niacin reflect this pharmacokinetic reality, not a weakness of the molecule. N-men's lower dosing in clinical trials may actually reflect limitations rather than advantages. If N-men is substantially degraded before absorption, converted to nicotinamide in the gut, as some research suggests, then the fraction of a 250 mg N-men dose that actually arrives at target tissues in its original form may be quite small. A small dose with incomplete conversion producing the same ND plus elevation as a larger niacin dose doesn't mean N-men is more efficient. It may mean we're measuring the wrong endpoint or that most of the N-men dose is doing something other than what we think. There's also the question of what therapeutic niacin dosing achieves that lower doses don't. Niacin's lipid-modifying effects, the HDL elevation, LDL reduction, and triglyceride lowering require doses above approximately 1 gram daily. The anti-inflammatory GPR109A effects require meaningful receptor occupancy. These are therapeutic windows that don't open at 50 milligrams or 100 milligrams doses. The fact that niacin's most clinically significant effects require gram-level dosing isn't a safety concern so much as a dose-response relationship reflecting what the compound actually does in the body. This doesn't mean niacin's high-end doses are without risk. Sustained-release niacin formulations at doses above 2 grams daily have been associated with hepatotoxicity in some cases. This is a genuine safety concern that requires periodic liver function monitoring at higher doses. Immediate-release niacin at the same doses carries less liver risk, but more flush intensity. These trade-offs require informed decision-making, ideally with medical supervision. The bottom line, dose is not a reliable proxy for potency, and N-men's lower dosing should not be read as evidence of superiority. It reflects different pharmacokinetics, different mechanisms, and possibly different fractions of the labeled dose reaching meaningful targets, questions that the current evidence base doesn't definitively resolve.